Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the Maize and Blue Reviews. Good afternoon, Michigan football. Here on Rivals.com. And we are joined by former Wolverine Jerry Diorio, who is on the screen on this Football Friday as the Big Ten, the conference season starts. Jerry, it's great to see you. A little weird to say, Michigan, USC to start the conference season, but that's where we're at.
Great to be a Michigan Wolverine, Denny. Here we are. Michigan versus USC. Usually a January 1 game. Now we're in September.
Yeah, I like, the whole college football season. Tomorrow, Tennessee is at Oklahoma. I think they arranged the game before, but here it is. That's an SEC game. And as we get, I think it's going to hit us more, because we're used to seeing intersectional games in the first 3 or 4 weeks. But when we get into week 6 or 7 and you start having these games, and it's going to be like when Michigan's playing Washington, when Michigan plays Oregon, that's going to be a conference game in week 8. That'll feel a little weird.
Yeah, this is welcome to the new college football world. It's up and running.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to hear what you have to say about this game tomorrow. We're going to get your prediction on Michigan and USC. You have gone through some of the film. There's going to be some stuff that you're going to point out, and I'm going to be riveted to the screen to see what you have to say when you break the film review out for Michigan. But let's start with this game tomorrow and a recipe for an upset. Somebody that I just talked with last hour said, hey, it's about the Michigan offensive line. Don't go any further than that. And Jerry, are you familiar with the photo that I have up on the screen?
One of my favorite of all time, Denny. It's all my co-senior or senior linemen that I played with my senior year. That was a junior line when we were in our junior year. So we were all 4 starters on our junior season and our senior season. So gave us a lot of experience, and I love that picture. One of my favorite pictures of all time. And that was a great offensive line. I mean, I think we're one of the top 3 or 4 rushing teams in the country, and that's how we won ball games. I mean, there were games that seemed like they were real close, but in actuality, we were dominant up front and just kind of kept their offense off the field.
And for those that don't know, I have a picture of a Michigan offensive line, 4/5 of the offensive line, and 64. That's you, Jerry, right here over on the right side. Who else are we looking at here?
We're looking at Doug James here, number 73, old Kentucky dog. Stephon Humphreys. Dr. Stephon Humphreys out in California. He's a doctor out there, and attorney Tom Dixon, 2 All-Americans right there on that offensive line those years. And and then the 5th wheel was Clay Miller. He was our junior, and Clay did a great job as well. And that was a very good offensive line. We took it to some people.
The shoulder pads stand out, and just how giant. I mean, you guys are, you're not the 330 pounders like they have now, but everybody's 6'5", 330. But your shoulder pads are twice the size of the shoulder pads.
Denny, that was probably one of the smallest offensive lines in the last 40, 50 years at Michigan. Seriously, even before. We were all around 245, 250. There was no giants out there. I think Clay was the biggest at around 265, 270, maybe. And it was just a very well-experienced, very well-oiled unit that we knew what everybody was doing. We knew how to communicate up front, and that's the beauty of an experienced offensive line is when you play with each other. For a lot of games, you get to know each other and you get to see scenarios together, and you go back and see them in the future and see them in live, and you can make the adjustments.
Well, Michigan does not have an experienced offensive line that they will put out there against USC tomorrow, but that is going to be the key if U of M pulls this upset, the big guys up front. How do you see it? You know, there's going to be a lot of people. I know you're heading down to the game tomorrow. There're going to be a lot of people that are asking you what you think and how you think Michigan pulls the upset. What are you going to say to them?
Well, Denny, I mean, so we know who our quarterback's going to be. It's right. Orji. Our quarterback is Orji. You have to anticipate a heavy run game tomorrow. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised, over 70% run versus pass, maybe over 80. And it would not surprise me one bit. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. That's a dominant football team. When you got a football team that can control the clock and move the chains and score, why would you want to throw the ball all over the place? I mean, so we're going to find out a lot about our team tomorrow. We're going to find out how good our offensive line is. When you look at the film against Arkansas State, they were, our offense was very good. It was moving the ball. It was picking up chunk plays on the run game. We were getting hat on a hat, and our technique looked good, and our schemes looked really good. So I was really surprised and really pleased with that. But, that's what you're going to see from this point on. If Orji's our quarterback, expect 70, 80% run plays and, be happy with it, because that's how we're going to have to win now.
Well, and if you're finishing off drives and you're running the ball, that's really going to shrink this game down. And then you take the other side of the ball. Miller Moss and Lincoln Riley always is able to get his quarterback, and he's got Heisman Trophy winners left and right, and he knows how to draw things up on offense. Moss almost threw 400 yards he threw for almost 400 yards against LSU in that opener that they played out in Las Vegas, and he's got at least 3 really talented wide receivers. And so you look to the Michigan pass rush and also the Michigan secondary, but also those 2 linebackers, which is where, you can blitz those guys, but those guys also have to be prevalent in the pass game. How do you look at it when Michigan's on defense with such a high octane offense and one of the offensive minds that really knows how to scheme his guys open?
Well, I mean, we've seen it before. I mean, we saw it last year. We saw a very good Washington offensive team, a very good coaching staff at Washington. Our kids know how to play that. I'm looking at the Arkansas State game, and I'm starting to see some familiarity from last year. 2 down linemen instead of 3 across all the time. And the key to winning this game is not to turn the ball over, control the clock, finish drives, and our defense to get off the field. And if we can get a couple turnovers on the defensive side, we should feel very good. But there's nothing going to be pretty about this game. It's going to be one in the trenches. It's going to be one between the tackles. USC has had an issue with running the ball, even against LSU. LSU got them a lot in the run game. And so that's what we're going to have to do. We cannot turn the ball over. That we cannot do. We've got to continue finishing drives and converting third downs. When you look at the game against Arkansas State, one of the great things was our third down conversions. I think at one point we were 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 on third down. And the reason why we were so good is when you look at the third down conversions, they're 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and those are favorable to Michigan. And we're gonna have to be in those situations, and we're gonna have to convert those situations.
Yeah, USC, for as long as Lincoln Riley, whether he was at Oklahoma or whether he's at USC, he has had terrific offenses and fabulous quarterbacks. But the other part, the defenses have all been super soft and have been really bad on defense. And then they weren't against LSU. So is it a one game or his entire career, everything that we looked at on defense where they couldn't tackle anybody? But they've got a new team and a new coordinator there. And then they look totally different against LSU. And you can't bank on that, but I think we're going to be able to find out pretty quick if Michigan is putting a hat on a hat and they're running the ball. I think that Michigan is going to say they're going to. Sharon Moore is going to get up in front of his guys and say, "We are going to smash this team. That's how we're going to win." And there's a lot of. I know you already gave a lot of excellent analysis and everything else, but if I boil it down, it's really Michigan taking control physically up front and smashing them, and that's the path to victory to me.
Now, well, that's the way I see it, Denny. Don't turn the ball over, control the clock, keep their offense off the field. Our defense, if we play like we're capable of playing, we can stop anybody. We've proved that before, and I think our defense is going to come to play. I got a feeling that we're gonna see a lot of things that we saw last year. This year, I saw that I call it the DTE stunt, where the defensive tackle is out and the end is underneath. That was such a successful stunt for us last year. It was a great stunt for us. I hardly seen it this year. Now I did see it against Arkansas State, so I did see some familiarity and some things that looked like last year that were good. And what we did with that stunt, we flushed the quarterback out of the pocket, made him uncomfortable. When you're dropping 7, Denny. Think about Iowa, what they did to us. They dropped 7. Was that one of our better offensive games? No. Why? Because JJ couldn't get into a rhythm. He couldn't strike, and he had to move. Once the quarterback starts moving, now you have an opportunity to take shots at him too. So that's what I want to see. I want to see us go with more of a 4-man rush, a lot of defensive line stunts on situations that are passing situations. I think we can get home, and I think we can flush this guy out of the pocket. And once he's out of the pocket, we got to make him pay.
A lot of people want to know about the status of Colston Loveland, if he's going to play or not. I think he's going to try to play. If I had, it was just to be a guess, I would say probably not, but there's a chance that he's going to be out there. So we'll just keep an eye on that one. That gets us to, Jerry, we're going to have some film that we're going to watch, and I look forward to that. I tell everyone to join up the Maize and Blue Review and urge them to do so if they like Michigan and they like being involved with other Michigan fans and talking about Michigan football all day and all night. If you like recruiting and if you like NIL talk and everything from Michigan from top to bottom, from the features and everything else, here it is on the Maize and Blue Review. So I am going to tell you again, and you might, have your Dahmers down a little bit heading into this game. A lot of people picking USC. I can tell you that I see a lot of the people on the Den of the Maize and Blue Review are not having it. They're picking Michigan. So I don't know if you like that kind of positivity and then objectivity, well, this is the place for you. Again, the Maize and Blue Review. You can get full access today. Go to michigan.rivals.com to get that done. And we look forward to seeing you over there. And John can't wait till tomorrow. Either can I. I'm going to watch a college football game tonight, top 25 matchup with Illinois and Nebraska in Lincoln. That's going to be at 8:00. That'll give me something to do. I guess an hour before that, I'll also be watching the Tigers, who are as hot as a firecracker and have made compelling baseball here in Detroit. So you got to watch that. And one other note, this line has moved all over the place from the beginning of the season to how Michigan has played, to USC played. It was up to 6.5 now. Keegan was saying 4. I saw 4.5 before joining the show. So if at Vegas, they don't care. They just trying to get out there, and they that could be good news. Thinking about a lot of people, jumping in on Michigan. So there you go.
A lot of people starting to bet Michigan and taking that 6 point. Denny, before the season, Michigan was 11.5-point favorite on some things over USC, and now we're 5.5. I heard that today, I think, on Dan Patrick. We were 11-point underdog before the season. Now we're 5.5. that's not a bad thing. Let's be that underdog role and come out swinging. This is the kind of game, Denny, that changes seasons both ways. Both ways. I mean, if we come out and do what we're capable of doing, if we can pound them and dominate them up front, both sides of the ball, we're going to have a very good future with this team. If they get dominated, they're going to start questioning their toughness and their size up front. So this is a much better USC team than we've seen in the past. They have this new nutritionist out there, and body fat is really dwindling. They're gaining weight and losing body fat. So this is going to be a very good test for us. It's going to be a very big game, and I'm excited to see it. I'm really excited to see it.
It is down to 4. I'm looking right now. So there it is. Keegan was correct on the point spread. All right, Jerry, you ready to get us excited for tomorrow's game by watching a little bit of film? I'm looking forward to that. Are you ready to go in that regard?
Absolutely, Denny. This is the first thing I want to point out. Scar does a fantastic job on the defense, and I don't want to talk too much about the defense, but this is the thing I recognize from the last few years at Michigan football. 4 down linemen, 2 with their hand in the dirt. You can say he's got his hand in the dirt, but he's still an edge player. It doesn't matter whether he puts his hand in the dirt or not. It's a 4 front, which means we have the ability to drop 7, even 8, or we can come with 5. But we're coming from different positions or we're backing up. And you're going to see that the quarterback has a real hard time throwing against 7, especially with movement, especially when we're making him move and get off his spot. This looks very familiar to me. Arkansas State came into the game 2-0, 82.5 plays per game, most in the FBS. So they're controlling the game, they're controlling the clock, and they're running a lot of tempo. So they're getting a lot of plays off, and that was a good job by our defense. So this was good. I liked seeing this. I was a little wondering why Johnson to the boundary on the one-man receiver, why he wasn't up a little bit tighter or, doing a little bit more press. This was too easy of a pitch and catch for us, especially on 3rd and 8, especially going at our All-American. I thought he would be up on that a little bit more and challenging the wide receiver there. But other than that, I like the familiarity. I like us getting back to our basics. I call that our base right there. That is our base in my opinion. Normal alignment. You got a 1 and a 3. You're going to see real soon here. Now all of a sudden we got 2 different tackles in here besides Graham and Grant. We're going to see Iwuna and Benny in those 2 spots as well, which gives us a dominant 4-man package for a 2-position situation. That's a dominant package in there. You still have your outside edge players with Moore and Stewart, and that's what I've seen from Michigan in the past. Look at us. We're still getting pressure. We're still getting pressure on him, but now he's got nowhere to go. You see that, Denny? We're still getting pressure. We're still making a move, and now once he moves, now he's got to get hit. Now the quarterback's going to get hit, and that's what you want. You want that quarterback to get hit. The more that quarterback gets hit, the more he's thinking. And I like that familiarity. All right, looks like base of 2023 again. Okay, but here we go. Here you have 2 new players. Where are we, Denny? First quarter, 3rd and 20. Okay, first quarter, 12 minutes and 25 seconds to still go in the first quarter, and we got 2 new defensive linemen in there. I think this is Benny and Iwuna. But this is good. This is encouraging. I like seeing this. We got depth. We got rotation. We're going to be more fresh. Excuse me. Who was that 92, Denny?
92 is Pierce.
Pierce and Iwuna. And okay, now think about it. We don't even have Benny, and we don't even have Benny in there. So that's good. Okay, here we go.
I have to interrupt you. Pierce is 95, so that is Iwuna.
Iwuna is 92, but yeah, who was the other one out there? Was that 26? Was that Benny out there?
That could have been.
Yeah, it could have been.
Ike is 92, so.
Okay. So anyways, here we go, Denny. This is the stunt I'm talking about. I'm not crazy about the alignment. We got a 1 and a 3 with Graham and Grant on the same side. I'm not crazy about that, but I love this stunt. This is a very difficult stunt. The tackle's out. He's going to push out the blocker. We're going to come underneath it with Graham, and we're going to get pressure up the gut with contain with Grant out the other side. We're going to get the same action over here. Barnum's going to rack that tackle, and here we come Stewart underneath. What's that do? Makes the quarterback move. There's Barnum. You see that right there, Denny?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not even making an example. I mean, he's not even getting creative. He's just going right now to that tackle. Same thing over here. Look at what we're doing over here. I love this stunt because it's so hard to pick up for an offensive lineman. You got to be on the same course. You got to be on the same level. You got to be on the same page. It's a very difficult stunt. I love this. We're collisioning the number 2 receiver. I'm a little surprised we didn't have we couldn't pick this 3rd and 15 and get off the field here. But I thought Barry did a nice job there. I love that stunt. Here we are. We're going to come with Barnum and drop TJ Guy, but we're still coming with 4. I love this stunt. I love the design. I wish we'd be a little bit tighter on the receiver on that one. So, but it's a good start. We come out, we stop them, make them kick a field goal. They miss. I like that familiarity. I like that base defense right there. That made me happy to see that right away. Okay. Now, here's something, Denny, that a lot of coaches will do. They will false pull. We used to call it false pull or influence pull. We want to see what these guys are reading. Are they reading the line or are they reading the back? What's making them go over here? So we got a couple of things going over this way and one thing going over, one player going over that way. We're going to find out what these linebackers are reading. They look kind of confused. They're not reading the guard. You can see that he's not reading the guard because he's not going with them. Watch this right here, Denny. Watch this guy right here. Here's his guard. Does he go with them or not? No, he's not going with them. So now we know they're not looking at guards. They're not looking at guards. We got
to be looking at the ball. They should be looking at the ball or.
Well, Denny, we used to always teach our mics. I think Scar even talked about the triangle.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. And we started with the triangle. Then we started reading just 2 linemen. Okay. And whatever the lineman would do would dictate where we wanted our linebackers. But I was heavy on reading the offensive line. I thought they were the ones that took you to the ball more often than not. So I was a big proponent of reading the offensive line. These guys are seeming like they're kind of just playing the ball and getting to the ball. They're definitely not reading the guard, which puts them late to the party out there to make that play. But this is a good play. Good. Is that Morgan? Is that Shamaz? I think that's Morgan.
0.
Yep. Great blocking out there from Hinton. Very athletic kid. Hinton is very athletic right here. Great block out here. These receivers, they're going to have to be doing that a lot this year. Blocking downfield, and that's a good thing. So excited to see that.
Orgy can make that throw too.
I'm sorry?
And an Orgy can make that throw too.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, absolutely, Denny. That's exactly right. I mean, those are the kinds of things that Orgy can do and still give us a really interesting run package off of it. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, Denny. Orgy can make that throw. He should be able to make that throw. All right, this throw to me, Davis. I'm gonna say this real quick. Davis has gotten a lot of heat. Remember, he's a walk-on starting quarterback. We were thinking all of our eggs were in Tuttle. He got hurt. Now it's a battle between Orgy, Warren, Denegal, and the youngster Davis. And so Warren comes out of this. What makes Warren more impressive than Orgy and the rest of the guys? Well, maybe a throw like this is something you might consider. This is a hard throw. That's a long throw out there from the far hash to the far wide side of the field boundary, on and out. That's a rope. That's a great throw right there. Moore is becoming more and more of a threat, and I see him doing a lot of good things.
Fred Moore, yeah.
He's becoming more and more of a threat, and I like that. I like that a lot. All right, where are we at now? Okay, Denny, when we played Fresno, do you remember we had Loveland out here on the number ones, and we were hitting them on slants?
Yeah.
This is another way to do it. Here we are. We got them lined up in a bunch. We got Loveland and 2 wide receivers out here. What we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up stacking the receivers, and then Loveland's going to head out and then back under with the slant, which makes him basically the number one running a slant. Again, hard to defend, especially a Loveland. That's a tough play to defend right there. And now, and who is that on him? That's a tough play for a linebacker. You're not gonna win that battle much. Great, a little bit behind him. The throw was a little bit behind him, but still, all in all, great throw. Love this over here. We're starting to work together over here. That's a great pickup right there. That's a tough stunt right there. And this is the kind of thing that we did. What I was pointing out, tackle out, end under, and we picked it up. And that was something that really made our offensive line look good the last 3 years, that we could pick up that kind of stunt. Familiarity again. Here we go. 6 offense. I guess the key of the video today is familiarity. We got 6 offensive linemen here. Here's Gentry over here lined up at the tight end. Get familiar, get used to this alignment, folks, because I think we're going to see this play out a lot more. What we see here is Mullins set this play up. His path, look at him downhill. Look at what these linebackers are doing now. You see what they're doing? They're stepping up. They got to step up. Well, you know what? They could step up, and they could also step up into the wrong gap. And that's what we're going to have our running backs do. We're going to have to bring those linebackers up and bounce things like this. Great kick out by Bredesen. Got great movement. And again, our receivers are blocking. Who's this coming in motion here? Right here. Who is this? I can't tell who it is, but watch his block. It's a great block from a receiver. That's outstanding right there. The only thing we really didn't pick this up is Gentry right here. We could have been a little bit better. I would have liked to see El Hadi come off on this a little bit quicker. But all in all, this is there's no real penetration there. Back's got plenty of time to make his move, and off to the races he goes. Touchdown. It's a well-designed, well-blocked play. And here you go, 6 offensive linemen. Now, all of a sudden, USC's got to prepare for 6 offensive linemen and 7 offensive linemen for this game. And their Achilles heel is rush defense. No question in my mind. All right. Who are we? This is who we are right here. 11 plays, 76 yards, 6 minutes and 39 seconds. That's the kind of team we're going to be this year, Denny, especially if Alex Orji is our quarterback. Our quarterback. This is what kind of team we're going to be. And it's a good thing. It keeps our defense off the field and keeps our offense getting better. Love that drive. Great job. All right. Our identity, pound and ground and get cute from there. That's what I think our identity is going to be from this point on, Denny. We're going to pound and pound and pound. And once they start coming up, we're going to come up with reverses. We're going to come up with screens and those draws that we have in our back pocket that we've seen throughout the years. But this is who we are. Like it or not, folks, this is who we are. We're going to be a ground pound team this year, and there's nothing to be ashamed of that. They've got to match us now. Everybody else is throwing the ball all over the place. We're going back to some basics. They're going to have to adjust their game. All right. Again, path of the running back, downhill, brings the linebackers up. Great pickups by Guidance. Nice angle by Hinton here. But by Edwards pressing this hole, the defender comes up. We pick him up with the inside of the combo. And that's how we're getting creases in there. Great pickup there. I would have liked to see Al Hadi again come off a little bit quicker. But all in all, good job. Good play. I like this. I like that. I like what I'm seeing. Our offensive line is working together as a unit. They're working their combos real good, and they're getting movement on the offensive line. So I like that. And I think this is who we are. Again, here we go. Combo box, combo. 6 up here, Gentry. Here's Gentry over here. And look at the patience Donovan Edwards displays here. Al Hadi has to bubble. We don't get any movement here on this double team. That's concerning. I don't like that. We got 2 guys on one. He's got to be back here a little bit. Al Hadi does not get depth. I still like to see us change our horn pull a little bit, but he doesn't get depth, and he's got to belly out a little bit. But all in all, this play is set up by Donovan. Donovan presses that hole and then bounces out just like we've seen him do numerous times against Ohio State, against Iowa, against Washington. It's a great job. Hat on a hat. Now they got to come off and make plays. This is not something they're familiar with. And SCs are going to be the same way. This is not something that they're real familiar with, this ground and pound game. Now, this is a little bit concerning to me. We did this twice in the game, and I think both times were interceptions. Both times. Quarterback is faking this way. Edwards is faking this way. No hot receiver with the corner blitz. Like to see Guidance not go so far. I think he goes a little bit too far, and he misses that loop underneath there. You see that, Denny? You see Guidance right there circled? I think he works out there a little bit too far. You see that?
I'm hoping they just pick one center and go with him tomorrow. So,
but this is thrown off the back foot. Horrible. No hot. I thought our receivers should have just settled down right now and get them the ball when that corner comes. But we don't. We throw off our back foot. Interception. Great hustle by Bredesen and Edwards trying to get down there. But that play right there, that saved us 4 points. What does 4 down give us? What does 2 down give us? 4 as your depth. And I like that. Still got pressure. Still got coverage. I like that. I like seeing that a lot. There's Benny. Yep, I saw Benny. All right. So we hold him here. We stop him to a field goal. That's great. That's a great job. That's sudden change right there by our defense, and they did a great job. And now, one thing I've noticed, Denny, is we're not doing a lot of pulling. We're mostly, our big play right now is our inside zone. And what we're going to do is we're going to pound the gaps, protect the gaps, pound the gaps. Watch these guys. They're all playing their gap. They're all blocking their gap responsibility with the kick out from Klein. Klein is becoming a very good blocker. But look at that wall set up there. You see that? Look at that wall right there, Denny. There's 3 blue jerseys caving in 3 white jerseys. You see that?
Yeah.
And I love the way Donovan has been finishing runs this year. He's really putting his shoulder down on contact, and you're going to see he's running people over, and he's getting an extra 2 yards, 2.5 yards every time he does that. Let's look at this. Look where he makes contact, and look where he ends up. I mean, I love this. Boom, right there, right on the, what is that, 30-yard line, 40-yard line? Gets the extra 2 yards. So I love that. I think that's the biggest thing Donovan has really improved on. Now, who are we? This is who we are right here, folks. Inside zone, gap power team. We're going to run a gap power here. Again, I think Previw has an unforced error here. He's making a missed assignment. He doesn't know whether to go down on the nose or go out on the 3. So he's kind of in limbo, and he doesn't really block anybody. But because we're getting hat on a hat, we're hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, we're getting movement, we're working our feet. What do? Even with a bad block at the point of attack, Edwards gets 4. We'll take that all day long. Not a sexy run, not something we're going to put on highlight films all over the place. But to me, this is a highlight right there. That's who we are. We're going to pound people for 4 yards in the first quarters, 6 yards in the second, and then break them later. And that's how we're going to do that and move the chains.
I agree. Now we need to find out if USC is who we think they are.
Absolutely. Great play design here, Denny. We got a counter going one way and an RPO going the other. Very difficult. What we're reading here, Denny, is this outside defensive end. If he goes down at all, if he just looks down in there, we're going to get the ball out to Loveland. Now we've got blockers with angles, and we're going to put our big boy out there on one-on-one with a cornerback. But you see that? How that defensive end just kind of goes down a little bit right there. That gives the lane for Loveland to catch that pass. And I love this design. We're running counter to one way and flood the other way. Beautiful design, beautiful play design. And our receivers, Bell's over here. I think this is something they're going to be good at all year long. And the ones that are going to play are going to be blocking. And that's who we are. We need to, that's what offenses need to do, Denny. You got to find your identity. You got to know who you are. You can't fool yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. We are a run downhill team. Let's embrace it and go for it, okay? Here's that old wedge. Point of attack over to right guard. And here we are, staying ahead of the chains. Here we are, 3 for 3 on third down, Denny. After this, we're 4 for 4. But we're getting them because of good third down situations. Here we are. We learned a little bit. We're not going to run the wedge over our center. It doesn't matter who's there. They're going to submarine, and they're going to try to get the center back in the backfield. And that's what they do, even the Crippen here. That's a hard thing to ask that center to do. But we stalemate it, come together, hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, put Mullins over the top for 3, first down. Moving the chains. This is time consuming. Their offense is sitting over there just waiting to get back in the game, and they're getting cold. Here's that same thing, Denny. Quarterback's faking this way, running back's faking this way. Neither one are on the same page. I don't know why we're doing this, but both of them were negative plays. Here we have a sack right there.
Yeah, that was not a fun one to watch.
No.
Can't have that kind of stuff tomorrow.
We cannot get behind the chains. We cannot get behind the chains, Denny. That is something we cannot do from this point on. We've got to be at least close to the down and distance we need to be in. Great job here by Link and El Hadi, and I think that is Crippen at center there too, helping out there. But that's a very difficult stunt. I hate that stunt as a coach. I hated it as a player. It's a tough stunt because you don't know who's coming where. And but to be on that level, that's really great job working that. And this kid is becoming more and more of a playmaker every day. I'm really starting to like this young man more. All right, the big boy package again. No pulling, no gap read, no nothing. We're just playing inside zone, blocking the gaps, helping and blocking gaps, and moving the chains. Bredesen leads the way, running downhill. And there you go, Denny. Here's the Donovan Edwards. Boom. Where's he at? 7 yard line.
Field.
Look at how much he gets.
Jerry, that last play, the question's coming into you. Do you think Orji can make that throw that Warren made to Fred Moore?
I think we're going to all find out together.
I think you're right. I mean, that's it. Saying yes or no, that's what I would have said. We're going to find out. We don't know.
8 yards in the second quarter becomes 30-yard gains later on, Denny. We got to be patient. We've got to know who we are. We got to establish our run game, establish our lanes. Defenses will have to play 4 quarters of disciplined football, and that's hard to do, especially against a run team that you don't see every day. So that's what we're going to have to establish from this point on. Nothing to be ashamed of either. Edwards, all these things happen when you need to play disciplined football for 4 quarters. We're not blocking this perfectly. Watch, we got leakage all over the place. Link misses his block. You see that?
Yeah.
Link misses his block. We got the nose pinned. We got the backside pinned. Link misses his. Previw comes up, gets on the hat on a hat, and we sneak through there for another 5-6 yards. Okay, that's all that is hat on a hat, and making sure that they've got to play disciplined defense for 4 quarters. Here you go, Denny. Get used to this. 11 guys within 7 yards of the ball. I don't care. It's on the goal line. We're going to see this a number of times. And by the way, I don't have a problem with that, because if you crack this, it's goodbye. There's nothing left. And you've seen that happen many a time, especially with Donovan. We've seen it with Mullins now too. So let them put their 11 guys up here. All it takes, one crack, we're in.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we're running inside zone. Gap down, gap down, gap down, gap down, gap down, kick out. And Donovan walks in. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing right here. We just went for, let me see, it's going to pull up here very shortly here. Right about now, I think. Yep. All right, Denny. We just took 7 minutes and 37 seconds off the clock. We went from 14 minutes and 18 seconds to 6 minutes and 41 seconds. Plus the first drive we had for 6 minutes and 39 seconds in the first quarter. That means we just took the ball for 14 minutes. There's still almost 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. We've had the ball on 2 drives for over 14 minutes plus. Okay, that's discouraging. You know what happens, Denny? Offenses get gelled. When offenses are on the field and they stay on the field, they gel. They get better. They're warmed up. Their motors are going. Defenses, what happens to them? They get tired. They get sloppy. They miss tackles. They get out of their gaps. And what happens to the opponent's offense when we're on the field that much? They get cold. They get desperate. They start pressing it now. Now they got to score. They got to answer that, okay? And they start pressing, and they're cold. They don't have that rhythm that an offense needs. And that's what I like about this team right now. That's what I think our strategy is going to be. I mean, we have a quarterback that's going to run the ball. We know he's going to run the ball. We need to embrace it.
I'm embracing it.
Okay. They're getting desperate. Okay. This kid's way off sides. They should have called this. This should have been a 5-yard penalty. But even so, look at the path of Klein right there. That's a great path. It's either Klein or Bredesen. Bredesen, excuse me. Great path by Bredesen, because that kid offsides gets inside Hinton. Bredesen picks it up. Well, now we're in the second level. That's great stuff right there. That is great stuff. Great block by Klein right there, picking up that linebacker there. Okay, 6 passing plays we've had so far. Great passing situation with max protection. 2nd and 3, you want to take a shot. We send it out with max protection, two receivers. Moore gets open, we hit him. Lean on him. Now we're getting them tired. Now we just start leaning on them. And as an offensive lineman, Denny, this is when you start really licking your chops and really enjoying life. because now you know they're tired. Their tongues are hanging. We're getting movement. There ain't nothing they can do about it. And we're in control, okay? Who's this? Is this Moore or is this Morgan? Great block here by our receiver. Great block there. Beautiful block. It springs it. And not too many DBs are going to bring these guys down one-on-one. And that's what I'm talking about. Here you got Denny. You got 9 guys right up on that ball. 7 yards. 1 crack. Look what happens. A run play can be as big as any pass play out there. Remember, Tony Dorsett took it for 99 yards against Minnesota a while back in 1983. So you can score from anywhere on the run game just as easy as you can on the pass game.
That could have been C.J. Charleston. He had a good game blocking. I can't get the number there, but it looked like it was 5.
Well, I did see Charleston. I do have mention him too. I did see Charleston making some really nice blocks in the game, and I was really impressed with him. Again, inside zone, we're not blocking this great. Link is turned, but that linebacker right here goes to the wrong gap. Goodbye. Touchdown. Gap protection. And here's Bredesen making another pancake. Boom. Denny, as an offensive lineman, I am licking my chops right here. You know why? Because the game is in my pocket now. The game is in the offensive line's pocket, and that's where we want the ball game to be played. With us, with our offensive line, with our running game, that's where I want the ball game to be played. All right. Very good pass over the linebacker's head and under the safety. This kid's got the talent. He's shown he can make passes. He's just made some really bad decision that cost him his job.
Right.
And it's sad. But this is a great pass. It's just like that Loveland pass against Texas. That was a great pass. But we know that this kid can make these throws. He just makes some bad decisions. Again, here we go. Running backs being patient and finding the crease. Where's that linebacker go? I'll go opposite. There's guidance coming off. Great job by guidance. You see that? Look at the center right there, Denny. And the right guard. Great job.
I liked him. He even came off and worked up to the second level there, it looked
Absolutely. Like. That's a great job by guidance right there. Okay? This is just a bad decision. We got a guaranteed field goal right here. Guaranteed. And we're sitting at 1st and 10. You can't give this ball up. Against Arkansas State, you can, but you can't do it against Ohio State. And that just cost us 3 points at minimum. And the way we were driving, maybe a touchdown. Okay. Great protection, great pocket. And this kid ain't no stiff. He can move. I wish he would have done this a few times when he threw those balls. I wish he would have run the ball a little bit more. I think he would have been more effective if he would have dropped it and run. But
it'd be playing tomorrow.
Huh?
It'd be playing tomorrow if he.
I think so, Denny. I think so because this kid has made throws. You know, he's not a stiff. He ain't that bad.
No, he just panics when he's getting hit and loses his fundamentals and throws it to the other team. So that's it.
That's it right there. Now, 3rd and short, I can see a 5-man in front. I understand that. This I don't understand. 1st and 10. You've been running a 4-man front the whole game and really shutting them down. And now we're gonna go. I don't understand why. That's my question. Why? Okay. And it doesn't make any sense to me to get away from what's really, really worked. Great blocking design. We're getting people in great angles. We're putting people in motion. They've got to account for them. We got great angles on our blocks. And it's just inside zone, something we do every day. This is a play. These kids go to sleep thinking about this play right here. Inside zone. or whatever they're calling it. Okay? But these guys know. They run it so much they can do it in their sleep. Nice pickup.
Yeah, I'd like to see that tomorrow. See that tomorrow.
This is a very viable and dangerous offense with Orgy. I mean, you've got to defend a lot. You still have to defend the receivers. You can't let them out there with nobody on them, right, Denny? And that opens up space.
I don't know. We're going to find out all together tomorrow, Jerry.
I hope. I think they're going to have to cover him. But here's Orgy. Nice 12, 15-yard pickup right there. Another creative design. Love this play design. We got a pin there. We got a pin with our receivers, our tight end blocking on, and we're going to pull our big fella, 300 and whatever, and he's going to get on that little corner. Poor kid. Poor kid. That's tough. How would you like to feel? How would you like to see that, Denny? Holy crap. Great blocking downfield. There's Klein running with him. Man, Klein is fast, isn't he, Denny?
Yeah, well, that's what they say.
And all this run sets up an easy boot.
Yeah. Nice from Orgy there. There's his highlight. Oh, this is not bad either.
I wanted to show this last play because, again, like I said, you got to cover them all, Denny. He's not that bad. I mean, I can make a throw out here, right? You got to cover them. You got to cover all these empties, all these receivers. You got to have somebody on them. What does that do? Loosens up everything in here. And if that linebacker goes through, you got an extra hat. If that linebacker picks the wrong gap, which he does here, you got an extra gap and an extra player. Watch the right guard. Get out of the way. But that, you see what I'm saying? That's what his package will do. That's what it's going to create.
It'd be nice to see the wide receivers have some success on those wide receiver screens. I haven't really seen any of that this year so far.
You know, Denny, with all the blocking that they've done, I agree with you. We need to get our receivers the ball. We got to give them some loving. We got to get these kids some loving because they are blocking their butt off. I don't know if I've seen too many receiver core that block this well.
Well, I don't know how much, like you say, I mean, I'm going to say it for like the fourth time. We're all going to find out tomorrow if Orgy, I think if he can have some success, boy, it's going to give obviously him confidence. It's going to give the rest of the offense confidence. Everybody in that stadium. Let's just say somebody was asking, hey, can he throw that pass like across the hash? You know, he did in the spring game. He put a couple nice passes out there. Like, so he's got the arm strength, it's accuracy. And, you know, sometimes you go out there and you're a little wild, and I think those where the groans come in, but there's been some throws that you look at and you say, wow, I don't know, but put it together, and that's what we're all going to show up at 3:30 to see tomorrow.
Absolutely. Denny, you know, like I said, I hate people beating up on Warren. This kid has done some, you know, he's shown some arm strength. He's shown some nice decisions, you know, some nice things, but he's made some bad decisions, and he was put in a bad situation, to be honest with you.
Yeah, look, I'm all focused on Orgy now to see what he can do, and it's his ball game, and the offensive line, it's going to be old school Michigan. Somebody said, we'll see if they run it 50 times. They're going to run it a lot. And USC and Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley, they've all been great with their quarterbacks and their offense, but they've all been terrible on defense, save the LSU game for the opener. Well, have they changed it up? We're going to find out pretty early, because Michigan's going to be trying to smash them down the field. They have those long drives and they have the time of possession, just going to keep building. That crowd's going to be behind them then, and then you'll feel pretty good about Michigan. But I want to feel good about the defense. You know, the defense is supposed to have been helping out the offense. They were supposed to lead the way.
No, not helping out, Denny, by leading. They were supposed to be leading the way. Right. We knew we were going to have issues on offense. We knew that. We thought we were coming in with the best defense in the country. Okay. So, okay, maybe we made some mistakes schematically the first couple games. We still got our whole season in front of us.
Jerry, do you have Michigan winning this game?
Yeah, I think we can. I think if our defense comes through and plays the way they're capable of playing, they should be able to hold USC to under 17 points, 13 to 17 points. And I think our offense is capable of putting 3 or 4 touchdowns up against anybody running the ball.
All right. It sounds like a 20 to 17 Michigan victory.
I'll take it.
From Jerry. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take 3 nothing. All right, Jerry, great job. We'll find out tomorrow, as you said, at 3:30. We'll be on after the game. So check us out on the Maize and Blue review here, the Michigan football post-game live. And hopefully everybody will be in a good mood. Jerry, you got me in a good mood today by talking with you and being on this show. Have a great weekend and enjoy Ann Arbor tomorrow. Hope the traffic you just great, but you know how to get in. You know how to navigate the traffic. You know how to find the tailgate. Have a great weekend.
Denny, it's always a pleasure working with you. I love working with you. I love the instant messages and all. Having a great time, and hail to the victors.
There he is, Jerry Diorio. Smash that like button, and we'll talk with you after the game tomorrow.